Good morning. Today, New York City greets the world under a thick, glistening blanket of snow, a sight both magical and rare for this bustling metropolis. Overnight, the city was transformed, its familiar sounds of honking taxis and hurried footsteps replaced by a peaceful hush. The snow muffled every noise, creating a serene silence that felt almost otherworldly, as if the city itself was pausing to admire the beauty. On December 27, 2025, the Northeast was hit by its largest snowfall in nearly 4 years. Streets that were once busy and crowded became nearly unrecognizable, buried beneath layers of white. From the iconic brownstones of Brooklyn to the towering skyscrapers of Manhattan, every rooftop, sidewalk, and tree branch was coated in a shimmering layer of snow. The city's landmarks took on a new enchanting appearance, as if painted by winter itself. For children, it was a winter wonderland, an unexpected holiday gift. Laughter echoed as they built snowmen and tossed snowballs. But for travelers, the storm was a nightmare, upending holiday plans and stranding families just as they hoped to reunite. The storm struck during one of the busiest travel weekends of the year, causing chaos for millions. Train stations overflowed with anxious passengers, highways became parking lots, and airports saw flights delayed or canceled by the hour. As the sun struggled to break through the thick gray clouds, the city's initial awe gave way to growing anxiety. People wondered how long the disruption would last and what challenges the storm would bring next. News reports painted a dramatic picture: airports at a standstill, highways gridlocked with abandoned cars, and subway trains halted mid-journey. The city's vast transportation network was brought to its knees. For once, the city that never sleeps was forced into a rare snowy pause. Even Times Square, usually alive with lights and people, stood silent and still beneath the falling snow. Yet, amid the beauty and chaos, New Yorkers showed their resilience. Pedestrians braved the icy winds, bundled in layers, determined to carry on. The city's spirit shone through, undaunted by the storm. In the end, Mother Nature reminded everyone who's in charge. The snowstorm left its mark, but so did the city's enduring strength and unity, a classic New York story written in white. How much snow did we get? The numbers tell the story. Central Park recorded 4.3 inches, the most since January 2022, enough to paralyze the city. Suburbs and surrounding states saw even more, up to 10 inches in some areas, with Long Island and Connecticut hardest hit. Over 60 million people across the Northeast were under winter weather alerts. Each inch added to the challenge for road crews and travelers alike. The data made it clear: this was a storm that brought the region to a standstill. The storm arrived with little warning, blanketing New York City in a relentless sheet of snow and ice. What was supposed to be a season of joy and reunion quickly turned into a struggle against the elements. Holiday travel plans were thrown into chaos as travelers found themselves stranded, shivering in long lines outside airports, desperately seeking updates. In just one day, over 1,000 flights in New York were canceled, sending shockwaves through airports across the country. The cancellations rippled outward, affecting travelers far beyond the city. JFK, Newark, and LaGuardia became epicenters of frustration and confusion. Terminals overflowed with passengers, many of whom had nowhere to go and no idea when they'd be able to leave. Even transatlantic flights were canceled, leaving travelers stuck on both sides of the ocean, unable to reach loved ones or return home. On the ground, highways became treacherous. Black ice coated the roads, causing cars to slide out of control and turning simple commutes into dangerous ordeals. Train and bus stations were no refuge. Families huddled together, anxiously checking their phones for updates, hoping for a miracle that would get them home in time for the holidays. Across the city, families were separated, plans were ruined, and the travel industry was pushed to its absolute limits. The emotional toll was visible on every face. Airline staff and airport workers worked tirelessly, assisting crowds of frustrated customers and shoveling snow just to keep the terminals accessible. The storm exposed just how vulnerable our travel systems are to a single, well-timed weather event, shutting down not just flights, but buses, trains, and even subways. For many, the season's joy was replaced by stress, uncertainty, and the sobering realization that sometimes nature has the final say. Behind the headlines, personal stories revealed the storm's true impact. Drivers like Leah Fagerstrom near Rochester described roads as a mess, echoing the frustration of many. Brianna Carroll from Syracuse summed it up. I hate the winter, and I hate traveling. The emotional toll was real. Exhaustion, resignation, and a longing for warmth and safety. Amid the chaos, seasoned travelers like Bob Wayne offered advice. Take it easy and don't get ahead of yourself. These voices, frustrated, worried, and helpful, formed a chorus of resilience. The storm wasn't just about numbers, it was about people navigating hardship together. In the end, it's these shared experiences that define what it means to weather a storm. While planes were grounded, the real battle was on the roads. Highways like Interstate 90 became treacherous, with vehicles sliding off into ditches. Black ice, nearly invisible, turned routine drives into dangerous gambles. State police urged everyone to stay home, but many essential workers had no choice. New York City deployed over 1,600 plows and hundreds of salt spreaders in a race against time. Despite heroic efforts, the storm's scale made clearing roads a slow, relentless process. The sound of plows scraping pavement became the city's storm soundtrack. It was a test of both the storm's power and the city's determination. As the storm intensified, states of emergency were declared across New York and New Jersey. These declarations unlocked resources, mobilized the National Guard, and allowed for rapid response. In New York City, Code Blue was activated, ensuring shelters for the homeless and outreach for those at risk. Sanitation workers launched a round-the-clock operation to clear over 6,000 miles of streets. The focus keep critical routes open and protect the most vulnerable. It was a massive, coordinated effort to restore safety and normalcy. While the Northeast battled snow, Southern California faced its own crisis, torrential rains and mudslides. Hillsides, already unstable from wildfires, gave way to rivers of mud, burying cars and flooding homes. The contrast was stark, one coast frozen, the other washed away. Both regions saw travel halted, homes threatened, and daily life upended. The parallel storms highlighted a trend. Extreme weather is becoming more frequent and intense nationwide. Whether snow or flood, the message was clear. Preparedness is essential. Nature's fury can strike anywhere, in any form. Across the country, resilience was put to the test. With the city at a standstill, New Yorkers adapted in ways both big and small. The familiar hum of traffic faded, replaced by the soft crunch of boots on fresh snow and the distant laughter echoing down empty avenues. The storm forced a rare pause. Hot chocolate in hand, families gathered for movie marathons, and windows glowed with the warmth of togetherness. For once, the city's relentless pace slowed, inviting everyone to savor simple comforts. Instead of hurried greetings, neighborly chats blossomed on snowy stoops and sidewalks. People checked in on each other, sharing stories and laughter, forging connections that might have been missed in the usual rush. Community spirit shone through as people helped each other dig out cars, shoveled sidewalks together, and shared supplies with those in need. Acts of kindness, both big and small, became the heartbeat of the neighborhood. Parks echoed with the laughter of children braving the snow, building forts, and sledding down hills that, for a moment, belonged only to them. The city's youngest residents found adventure in every snowdrift. Essential workers, doctors, sanitation crews, and transit staff kept the city running, braving the elements for everyone's safety. Their tireless efforts ensured that help and hope reached every corner, no matter how deep the snow. Their dedication was the backbone of the city's response, a reminder that even in the harshest conditions, New Yorkers look out for one another. As night fell, the city glowed under a peaceful, snowy silence. The usual noise faded, replaced by a gentle hush that blanketed the city in calm. Streetlights reflected off the white landscape, turning ordinary streets into scenes of rare beauty. The snow sparkled under the glow, making the city feel magical and new. For a brief time, the city that never sleeps rested under winter's spell. The stillness offered a chance to reflect, to appreciate the resilience and warmth that define New York. It was a reminder of the power of community in adversity and how, even in the coldest moments, people can find ways to come together and support one another. And as the sun rose over a snow-covered city, hope returned. New Yorkers emerged, ready to rebuild, proving once again that this city's spirit is unbreakable no matter the storm. As the sun rose after the storm, challenges remained, but hope returned. Temperatures stayed low, keeping snow and ice in place, while another storm loomed on the horizon. Residents and crews dug out, airports scrambled to recover, and the road to normalcy was slow. Yet, sunlight on fresh snow brought moments of beauty and relief. Children played, neighbors reconnected, and the city's resilience shone through. The hope, a gradual thaw, smoother travel, and brighter days ahead. New York, as always, looked forward, ready for whatever comes next.